Good morning. I want to give you a sense of what's behind some of the changes at the community church. I'll admit to being someone who thrives on change and innovation and new ideas, but recently I've got more than I bargained for. It's been a very frustrating time as the bar and the framework keep changing in which we must operate. A perfect example of that is our Sunday worship services, where we are actually this Sunday going to be worshiping in our fourth different location in as many weeks. Much of my time in recent weeks and months really has been spent trying to understand COVID 19 and its implications for our church, in addition to other sorts of issues which are so significant, such as the upcoming election and racial tension, the challenges for all people trying to educate their children and who are involved in that process. And in thinking about that, one of the things that I've asked is, how do we worship? When do we worship? Where do we worship? Can we have people in attendance or not? How can we provide the best live stream service possible? Trying to determine what other worshiping communities are doing successfully or unsuccessfully. How do we stay connected with the people in our church? And are there ways that we can gather in a healthy and natural sort of way? How can we effectively utilize our excellent church staff? And what are the core needs that people have in these uber challenging times? And recently I read a piece called Leading Beyond the Blizzard: Why Every Organization is Now a Startup. And the vast majority of what I read really fit. Here are two key thoughts from that. One is that we need to treat COVID 19 as an economic and cultural blizzard, a winter of sorts, and the beginning of a little ice age, a once in a lifetime change that is likely to affect our lives and organizations for years. And second, they offered the thought that I agree with, that leaders must set aside confidence in their current or past playbooks as quickly as possible and write a new one that honors their mission and the communities they serve. And frankly, that's exactly what we've done. And the great blessing at the community church is we have a structure and a system that allows us to be nimble and make those sorts of changes swiftly. So that's exactly what we have done. And so in conjunction with Sean and our staff, as well as a great deal of thought and prayer and research and conversations with those inside and outside our church, here are some of the changes that we made. First, we are going to be offering a service called Sunday Morning, simply Sunday Morning. Each week it will be live streamed. It will be sent to you in your inbox at 9:55 a.m., just as we have been doing. And it will be from the rental space on the second floor of Gorton, above the theater, not in the theater, but above the theater, that we have utilized as an office and as a meditation space and as a classroom space. Now that will be exclusively used as a studio for a variety of church tapings and things of that sort. Our Sunday morning experience will be about 45 minutes long, tops, maybe 40 minutes, and it will include scripture and a message. It will include live music and prayer, as well as announcements germane to our community. If by chance you have had a struggle to this point in time connecting with our live stream service, please know that we have made some significant changes this week and do two things. One is give it another try this Sunday, and two, if you have any kind of problem, please email me at the church office, tom@thecommunitychurch.us, or give me a call, 847-234-8191. The second thing is that immediately after our Sunday worship service, we're going to have a Zoom coffee hour. It'll basically start about 10:45, rather 10:45, and there will be a link to that on the email that we send you. And the screen porch is simply going to be a chance for you to see and connect with those people that you know and love from the community church. So give it a try. That begins this Sunday, November 1st. Third, we're going to be sending out what we're calling Wednesday night supper. And that will be a chance for us to try and feed you in the middle of the week. It will be a video in the range of 15 to 30 minutes. It usually will include a message by either Sean or Matt Dewar or myself. We'll likely have each week either music from the amazing musical archives of the community church, or there'll be live music, and every single week is going to be a little bit different. And that begins this week, and that will be an email again sent to you, excuse me, on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Next, we're going to have pop-ups. Pop-ups are going to be a periodic experience when we have a chance to gather outside, socially distanced, and masked. And there's going to be a variety of experiences, and we're going to set them up on short notice, often with only a day or two notice, usually on weekends. One exception will be that we are announcing our very first pop-up is going to be on Wednesday, the day after the election. Everyone who's interested to come to the gazebo in Lake Bluff for a very informal time of prayer and maybe a tune or two, but short and sweet. We think it's a great time for us to pray, an important time for us to pray for our nation and her leaders. And so that will be next Wednesday. That will be our first pop-up the day after the election. For middle school group, high school group, kids can't gather right now. It's that simple. And so Matt Dewar, leading those groups, is primarily going to focus just on the emotional well-being of those kids, and he'll be young people, and he'll be touching base with them on a regular basis. If you have questions about that, let us know. For Roots and Wings, Mary Jo and Teddy and Sean will be doing something for kids in Roots and Wings once per month. We're going to focus more on in-reach in our community church, which means this. We want to know, excuse me, we don't know how you're doing. Here I am coughing. We're going to focus on how you are doing, and we want everyone in our church to know if you need help, that we are there for you. John Corrigan is going to take the lead in this program, and that means that, if there's a big snowstorm and you're stuck in your driveway, know that we have snow blowers, access to snow blowers, and people with strong backs that can help out. If you have some sort of situation, we're not in the moving business, but we do have a van. And so that belongs to the church, and so that means, in a sense, it belongs to you. Now, again, we can't be in the moving business, but there are times and ways that we have tools and resources to help you out. So please know, if you need a ride to the doctor, if you need us to get food, doesn't matter what it is, let us know. We're here to serve you. Sean will continue his book studies. Matt Dewar has a book study. There's going to be a lot of ways in which we're going to work hard to try and feed you. A final one of those will be A Spirited Take, which will finally go live this week, and it will feature Matt Dewar and Sean and myself offering a spirited take on the great questions of life and of faith. A final thought. Please know that there's no one out there that wants to worship live more than Sean and I do. Frankly, preaching into a camera or speaking into a camera like I'm doing right now is a long ways from my favorite thing. Worship is meant to be live and with people. And While the state has pretty much made the decision with changes in the last 48 hours, we made the decision a little while ago that it was just not in the best health and interest of our people to worship together. So we will be offering live stream services only until further notice. And that decision is based on conversations with many of you. It's based on feedback from the survey we did, and it's based on current COVID trends, experiences that other churches have had, including having people with COVID at worship when all the participants needed to be socially or needed to be traced. Experiences that other churches have had, which frankly have shown that people are not coming back to church in the ways that some anticipated. And it's probably because worship experiences where people are socially distanced, and in the case of the community church, where we have maybe 330 spaces and seats available to us at Gorton, and we access only 80 of those, and everyone has a mask on, and they're kind of silently ushered in. They experience worship which doesn't have communion, which doesn't have singing. There's no chance to say hello to people and enjoy them before the service. No joys and concerns like we used to have. No time to give people a hug and say hello during the greeting. No chance to stick around after the service when people socially distanced are ushered out into the parking lot. That's just not a great experience, and it doesn't feel like worship. And so our focus, instead of trying to force the issue and say, how do we get people in there no matter what, our focus and our energy has been devoted to putting together the best live stream service we possibly can. And we've learned quite a bit over the last few weeks. Ken Hall and Elliot have been fantastic. We continue to learn. We seek your feedback. We want that to be a service that feeds you each and every week. So it's been a difficult decision to get to that place, but until further notice, our services will be live streamed only. If you have questions about any of this or all the moves or changes that we've made at the community church, please don't hesitate to contact me, Tom at thecommunitychurch.us. Give Sean a call at 847-234-8191 or contact him, Sean at thecommunitychurch.us. We want to stay connected with you. We want to serve you and help you in God's name any way we can. So thank you for your patience, and hope to see you this Sunday online. Thanks very much.